Here's what you missed on Phathead and Cande in the morning. Weekdays 6 to 10 a.m. on My Country 96.1.
My Country 96.1, Phathead, Cande, Roth. Hot one today. Yeah, yesterday was bad. Today about the same. Maybe a touch cooler, a degree or two. Still going to be crazy warm. Dublin Deck tonight when we get to Dublin Deck. And I know some of you get there 5, 6 o'clock, dinner, drinks, dancing, southbound, DJ Salty Jim. We start at 7. When we get there tonight, it's still going to be above 90. We're going to have the tickets on the Wheel of Prizes. We're going to stay cool right by the water, River Avenue in Patchogue. See you there tonight at Dublin Deck. And we do cool down the next couple of days. Cloudy, a little bit of rain Thursday in the 70s, and then about 70, cloudy on Friday. So that'll be nice to feel that. Get a little bit of a break for a few days. All right, before we get into national days, good news stories, and some other stuff, I did watch on Netflix yesterday a documentary. Elijah, my son, and I watched it. He loves cruising like I do. He's been on a couple. So we watched Poop Cruise. Yes, you heard me right. Poop Cruise, P-O-O-P. And it's a story about the 2013 sailing of the Carnival Triumph that had a fire, lost power, and was just floating out in the ocean or the Gulf of Mexico or wherever it was, just floating around with no power, and toilets didn't work, and food ran out, and it's quite the story. Definitely check it out. You might remember it was a big story back in 2013. Definitely go check it out. Worth a watch. It was about 55 minutes, the documentary. All right, so you know when you buy stuff online and you want to return it, and they're like, no, just keep it. Amazon, Walmart, Target, they're like, nah, just keep it. Not worth, for them to pay for the return shipping and all that stuff. There is another reason they do it. Researchers at the University of Notre Dame found that when we get to keep a return, it makes us see the brand as friendlier, more generous, more trustworthy, and you guessed it, we spend more money. That's right. Industry insiders anyway, call it brand warmth. Makes us more likely to shop with the brand in the future. So that $5 pair of socks you didn't really want ends up making you a customer for life, ends up making you spend more money with them, and it's just not cost effective for them to pay for the shipping, for the return. It even works when the first product you got was defective. But if they ask you to prove it didn't work, that'll cancel out the positive vibes, right? They're not going to, no, they say, they're not going to say, prove it to me. No, they take your word for it. It didn't work. And they send you a new one, or you get, here's a credit, or whatever it is. Keep it and we'll do something else for you. The study found that if the product is not defective, they can win you over even more if they say keeping it is the most eco-friendly solution. Get that right? They're like, listen, we don't want to do all the things in the environment, whatever. No, you keep it. Keep the product. It's the most eco-friendly thing to do. Or just donate it to Goodwill. These are things company will say to you, to just, make it sound nice. Make it, hey, and then they got you and you're hooked in. So that's interesting. Makes a lot of sense, and certainly the way to go for a lot of brands these days. National days today. Let's see what we have for you. It is National Parchment Day, as in parchment paper in the kitchen. Okay. It has its own day, and I guess it helps us with all sorts of baking and cooking and things. National Strawberry Parfait Day today. Could cool you down. National Leon Day. What is Leon Day? It has nothing to do with the name. Leon Day is Noel spelled backwards, because today we are exactly 6 months away from Christmas. So you're supposed to actually start working on Christmas, ornaments and making stuff for the holiday and stuff. Yeah, it's National Leon Day. It's a thing. And finally, it's National Catfish Day today. Not the online faking of a boyfriend or girlfriend. No, actual catfish, like the food, eating catfish and, catching catfish. And it's National Catfish Day. Some good news. A guy who runs a parasailing company on the Jersey Shore rescued a woman and her dogs after their kayak tipped in a storm. He saw it happen from a dock and sprinted to his boat. Luckily, the woman and both dogs were wearing life jackets. A new study found killer whales use kelp to groom each other and scratch each other's backs. That's kind of cute. It's apparently the first documented case of marine mammals making tools. And finally, put this under, it's the thought that counts, a TikToker named Kinney Carpenter, trending after her friend gave her an open bag of potato chips for her 30th birthday. She didn't know what to think until she opened the bag and realized all of the chips were folded, her favorite type. Her friend bought a bunch of bags and picked out all the folded chips for her. You know when you understand where you open a bag of chips, you have the regular chips, but then you have like the crunchier ones that are like they're folded on top of each other. That's how they're cooked, right? So the Kinney apparently teared up when she realized all the chips were specially picked for her and folded ones. I never thought I'd be crying over a bag of potato chips, but here I am. All right, it's a fun little story. Sounds a little shady, like they're just trying to get views and pump up the views and the viewership on her page. But I too prefer the fold-over potato chips than the regular ones. They're just crunchier. They're better. All right, that does it. I'll see you at Dublin Deck tonight. Come out. We're going to have a party with the heat. We'll cool you down. The drinks, the dancing, the music, Southbound, DJ Salty Jim, a boatload of concert tickets on the Wheel of Prizes. We cool down a little bit tomorrow, a little cloud and rain and 75, and we get to about 70 on Friday with some clouds. Here till 10 with a lot of great music. Then Jim O'Brien, Murph Dog, Jay Letterman, and Elena rounding out the evening from 8 to midnight. Phathead and Cande, My Country, 96.1.
Phathead and Cande in the morning, weekdays 6 to 10 a.m. on My Country 96.1.